students. You are welcome to this course AEM503, and in this particular week we'll be looking at Unit 11 and 12. Unit 11 will be looking at the definition of change agents and of course the function of change agents in adoption of innovation, and they will also be looking at characteristics and reasons for the change agents. Ladies and gentlemen, when we get to Unit 12, we'll be looking at different theories, okay, that have been formulated concerning the diffusion of innovation. And so at the end of the Unit 12, the students should be able to examine the formulation of theory on diffusion of innovation, and as well be able to discuss the 4 theories on the diffusion of innovations. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be an interesting course. I enjoy all of you to participate actively, and you'll be glad you did. Thank you, and remain good. Unit 11, talking about the introduction now. In the social systems, there are change agents that play important roles in the innovation process. The change agents are known to positively influence innovation decisions by mediating between the change agency and the relevant social system. Change agents are individuals who influence change in attitudes, knowledge and skills of their clientele in direction that will ensure their adoption of innovations. They are in position to develop the need for change and to help clientele to translate the intent into change agents. The social system includes several players such as this change agent. And so a change agent is an individual who influences clients' innovation decisions in a desired direction. They usually have early knowledge of an innovation, and so they can educate clients about how it can be adopted to reduce uncertainty in the cause-effect relationships involved in achieving. The change agent usually seeks to ensure the adoption of new ideas. The change agents are known to use opinion leaders in diffusion campaigns, and of course, these same change agents usually introduce innovations into a client system that they expect changes which can be desirable, direct, and anticipated. The change agents can predict an innovations forum and perhaps its function, but not its meaning. The functions of change agents. The functions of change agents are, these change agents help develop a need for change on the part of the client. They help to establish an information exchange relationship. They help to diagnose the client's problems. They help create intent to change in the client. They also help to translate this intent into action. They help to stabilize adoption and prevent discontinuance, and shift the client from reliance on the change agent to serve. Characteristics and reason for the change agents. Change is no single event. It takes time to plan for change. Try new practices and incorporate new programs effectively. Change is a process which progress once a period of time. In other words, we say it progresses once at a period of time. Education researchers have defined change agents for organizations and individuals as change can energize, and so we can say it can act as a catalyst. Change can build a sense of community. It can process from one stage to another. The process of change may not be embraced by all. Conflicts are a natural part of the change process. Involvement in the change process is individualistic and ultimately the responsibility of each person within the technological reasons for the change agent. The change agent help in bringing about technological advancement for new technologies. They help to develop an IT strategy that fully supports and enables the business strategy to develop and grow. They help to listen to business needs and translate them into technology requirements. They help make the common database available to all in customer service management. They also use easy access to a knowledge management approach and technology to turn individual knowledge into company-wide knowledge speedily and the process to manage the change. Change can be managed by striving to appraise the situation so as to identify major barriers and evolve strategies to deal with the new situation. They go further to implement the change process and also to incorporate both these hard and soft skills. This will help to win widespread support for process changes and methodologies to execute the solution. As a change agent in agricultural organization, there should be one, what we call sensitive training. Sensitive training refers to a method of changing behavior through unstructured group interface. This is done through the T group, and the T group aim at the following. One, understands one's own behavior and how one's behavior affects others. Two, understanding why people behave the way they do. Three, encouraging on to try out new ways of interacting with people and receiving feedback. Four, understanding group processes. And of course, developing tolerance for other people's. Number 12 looks at theoretical formulations on the diffusion of innovation. Talking about the introduction, the theory of innovation diffusion may be understood as capturing the innovation decision process, innovation characteristics, adopter characteristics, and opinion leadership. The innovation decision process represents the framework on which diffusion research is built. It delineates the process through which a decision maker chooses to adopt, reinvent, or reject an. The theoretical work of Everett Rogers in the diffusion of innovation was of two folds. He created inventories of findings from which many disciplines and from many types of innovation. These inventories provide impetus for the development of a definition of innovation diffusion that was not bound by discipline. Rogers assembled and refined theoretical structures aimed at explaining the principal features of innovation diffusion. The theoretical work has cemented a core knowledge and principles that are widely identified as the basis of the diffusion. Here talking about the innovation decision process, and this theory talks about the fact that potential adopters of a technology progresses over time through 5 stages, and these 5 stages are knowledge, persuasion, decision, implementation, and confirmation. And of course, the first, which is the knowledge, simply talks about the fact that this knowledge must be brought first, and of course, before persuasion will take place on an interpersonal basis, and this progress to the third, which is the decision to implement, the decision to make a stand or to take a stand and to implement, and of course to confirm the process. The second one is the individual innovativeness theory. The individuals who are risk takers or otherwise innovative will adopt an innovation earlier in the continuum of diffusion. Identifying these characteristics of people who adopt innovation raises the question of interpersonal influences. The 3 issues are addressed at this point in time, and the 3 are information flow, opinion leadership, and diffusion networks. Over time, information flow has been seen as an important issue, and it's a two-step flow involving opinion leaders and a multi-step flow. Currently, information flows are seen as multi-step in nature and as described in terms of the degree to which pairs of interacting potential adopters is similar or dissimilar. Opinion leadership denotes the degree to which one member of the society can influence the attitude and behavior of others. The diffusion of communication network is the structural stage upon which social influence takes place. The third is the rate of adoption theory. Diffusion takes place over time, with innovations going through a slow, gradual growth period, followed by dramatic and rapid growth, then a gradual stabilization, and finally a decline. Of course, these are the different stages or the different categories of adoption of innovation. The third component of this is the third component of diffusion of innovation theory, and it addresses adopters categories. Adopters characteristics. Adopter categories are classifications of individuals by how readily they adopt an innovation. And of course, Rogers, in his study, identified 9 socioeconomic variables, 12 personality variables, and 10 personal communication characteristics that have been demonstrated to bear upon adoption choices. In general, the theory holds that early adopters are more likely to be characterized by high socioeconomic status, high tolerance of uncertainty and change, low levels of fatalism and dogmatism, high integration into the social system, high exposure to mass media and interpersonal communication channels, and frequent engagement. The fourth, which is the last, is the perceived attribute theory. Different innovations have different probabilities of adoption and hence different adoption rates. That is, they travel through the innovation decision process at varying speeds. The theory demonstrates that 5 characteristics of innovations influence adoption decisions. They are compatibility, innovation complexity, observation, relative advantage, and finally triability. And that takes us to the conclusion of this particular week's course. Change agents are influential in enhancing adoption of an innovation. They work together with opinion leaders and change aids to achieve this. Though change agents can anticipate an innovation's usefulness, but they may not be able to foresee its meaning for its clients. Diffusion of innovation is an area of extension education that has received most support from empirical research. The main theories, which are product of the research relevant to diffusion of innovations, have been discussed. Other theories that are relevant also exist. There is need to ask new questions and study new problems if science must be advanced to solve practical. This follows the assignments that are there, which you are expected to look at as students, and it will help you in getting an in-depth knowledge. Thank you for listening.